You check your phone more than you need to, not because you're expecting something, but because you're hoping. Hoping something changed, hoping something showed up, hoping there's something there now that wasn't there before. So you look, and when nothing is there, you leave. But not fully, because a part of you is still waiting. So you come back, check again, just in case. And this loop keeps repeating. Not randomly, but consistently, because something underneath it hasn't settled. It doesn't feel decided. It doesn't feel secure. It doesn't feel like, of course. So your attention keeps going back, not to them, to the confirmation, to something that says you're chosen. And until that feeling is there, checking continues. Even if you try to stop, even if you tell yourself, I don't care, because it's not about caring, it's about position. And right now, the position isn't stable. Continue. Not feeling chosen isn't about them. It's not about what they're doing or not doing. It's about what feels undecided in you. Because when something feels chosen, it feels obvious, natural, expected. You don't question it. You don't analyze it. You don't look for proof of it. You just exist in it. But when it doesn't feel chosen, everything feels conditional, uncertain, like it could go either way. And from that position, you start watching, paying attention to details, reading into behavior, trying to figure out, what does this mean? Why did they do that? What changed? Because you're trying to find stability, something consistent, something that confirms, yes, it's secure. But the more you look for it externally, the more unstable it feels. Because you're depending on movement, on responses, on timing, on behavior. And those things are always changing. So you stay in a loop, looking, interpreting, reevaluating. Because the internal position hasn't locked. It hasn't reached. This is done. So your attention keeps moving. Back to them, back to the situation, back to the question. And that movement is what keeps everything active. Nothing settles, nothing stabilizes, because you're not holding one position. You're checking to see which one is true. You don't keep looking at them because of them. You keep looking because of what you're trying to confirm. Something that doesn't feel locked yet. Something that still feels open, undecided. So your attention goes back, not randomly, but with intention, to check, to see, to figure out, where do I stand? And every time you look, you're asking that question again. Even if you don't say it, even if it's subtle, it's there. Am I chosen? Is this secure? Is this happening? And because you're asking, you're not in the answer. You're in the search. And the search keeps everything moving. Nothing becomes fixed. Nothing becomes stable. Because you're constantly reopening it. Looking for new information, new signals, new confirmation. But confirmation doesn't come from looking. It comes from position, from what feels decided, final, not needing to be checked again. And until that point is reached, looking continues, even if you try to stop, Even if you distract yourself, even if you tell yourself, I'm done checking. Because the urge isn't behavioral, it's structural. It's coming from a place where something still feels uncertain. So your attention keeps returning, trying to close that gap, trying to reach that feeling. But it never does through checking. Because checking keeps the gap open every time. There is a state where you don't look anymore. Not because you're forcing yourself not to, because there's nothing to check. In this state, it feels decided, not logically, internally, like something already settled. You're not waiting. You're not wondering. You're not trying to interpret anything, because there's nothing to interpret. It already feels clear. And when something feels clear, your attention doesn't go toward it. You don't monitor it. You don't track it. You don't look for signs, because you're not trying to confirm it. You're already in it. That's what feeling chosen actually is. It's not about what someone else is doing. It's about the position you're in. A position where it feels, of course, this is obvious. This is already mine. And from that position, everything changes, because you're no longer reacting. You're no longer observing from uncertainty. You're no longer trying to figure anything out. You're just remaining in something that feels settled. And from there, attention stays with you, not pulled outward, not searching, not checking, just stable. And when you're stable, everything reflects that. Not effort, not control, stability. You were never checking because of them. You were checking because something didn't feel decided. Something didn't feel secure. Something didn't feel chosen. So you kept looking, trying to confirm it, trying to find stability in something outside of you. But that's why it never held. Because anything you check, you're not certain of. And anything you're not certain of keeps repeating as uncertainty. So the loop continued, looking, waiting, rechecking. Not because you needed to, because the position required it. But now, that changes. Because you see it. You don't need to stop checking. You don't need to control yourself. You don't need to force distance. Because the urge itself loses its foundation. Once something feels chosen, there is nothing to look for, nothing to confirm, nothing to monitor. So attention stays where it is, stable, unmoved, certain, and from that position, everything follows. Not through effort, not through control, but through consistency. You're no longer the one waiting to be chosen. You're the one who already is. And from there, checking becomes irrelevant, not resisted. Irrelevant. If this landed, anchor it. Comment, I am chosen. I don't check.